Started. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dion Irish. I'm the Chief of Operations for the City of Boston, and I have the honor of welcoming you all here to this event. Happy Black History Month. If you know me, as usual, my remarks will be brief. I'm going to have the real talent take up most of the time, but I do want to start by thanking all the people who worked hard to put this event together and also programming for the entire month of February. I want to start off with Chief Laurie Nelson for the work that she's done, Susan McCullen, Rakia Edwards, Keith Williams, Rashad Colt, Frank Farrell, and there's so many more people, so I'm sure I'm forgetting someone's name, but we'll try to fill you in if we did forget you. We want to start off this program with a word of prayer, so at this time I'd like to ask Reverend Art Gordon to come forward, please.
Happy Black History Month. If you would join me in a moment of prayer. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who has brought us thus far on this way, we come giving thanks this morning as we celebrate yet another month of Black History Month. We know that American history is Black history because this rich nation was built off the backs and free labors of people stolen from Africa. But we stand resilient today, knowing that the greatness that this country has comes from those who not only were forced here, but even those who have traveled to this great country. On this day, as we celebrate Black History Month within this rich city, we are mindful of those who paved the way before us, before we got here. Names like Reverend Thomas Paul, Prince Hall, Crispus Attucks, and Phyllis Wheatley. We stand on the shoulders and the backs of William Monroe Trotter, Melnia Cass, Mel King, Ed Brooke, Bill Owens, and so many more. We know that even this great city, who found itself with the first ship of African slaves enslaved brought to this city in 1638, we know that those members have made rich contributions to this city in government and politics, in church and religious organizations, in arts and culture, in education, and in economic justice. We are thankful as we are reminded of the flag that was raised earlier, the red, which represents the blood that unites all people of Black and African ancestry. We are mindful of the green that represents the abundance and vibrant natural wealth of Africa, often stolen from the motherland. We are mindful of the black, which represents the people whose existence as a nation, though not as even a nation state, is affirmed by the existence of the flag. We're reminded of the great prophet James Brown, who said, "I'm black and I'm proud." And we here stand today in the City Hall in the city of Boston to affirm the blackness and our history and heritage and all of those who have made this country great and have made this city great as well. As we move on this service, let us be mindful of the fight we have to come ahead as we still continue to fight racism, sexism, homophobia, and so much more. But we are united knowing that our history gives us a firm ground on which we can stand and on which we can move forward. So today we lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven can ring. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Gordon. The theme of this year's Black History Month is African Americans and the Arts. So we're blessed now to be performed to by one of our talented artists singing the Black National Anthem, Danny Rivera Jr.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Black History Month. Can we all stand, please? Lift every voice and sing until earth and heaven rings with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Oh, we will sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor. Let us march on until victory is won. Thank you.
Thanks. You can be seated now. If I could sing like that, I would be so annoying. I probably wouldn't talk. I'd just be singing to people. So now I have the pleasure of introducing a person who I'm very proud to work for. This administration is the most black people, the most people of color, the most women that I've ever seen in leadership. And I've been in government personally almost 30 years. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, our mayor, Michelle Wu.
Thank you so much to Chief Irish, AKA DJ Underground. For those who know, you know. Okay, I'm too short for this. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to Reverend Art, to everyone who has joined us here today. Thank you to Danny. Where did Danny go? This is one of my favorite spaces in City Hall right here, because if you look up, one of the special aspects of this very weird-looking building is that it was specifically designed through a public art competition around the whole world, one of the first major buildings to be designed through just an open competition where anyone could submit their ideas. And this design was picked to really represent transparency in its fullest. So you notice that nowhere is there a false ceiling in this building. Everything that you see, it goes as far up as it can go. You can see all the different shapes, and it kind of hints at what's on the other side with the city council chamber and the different offices and buildings. But this is a space where it goes all the way up. And so we are going to have Danny Rivera's beautiful, heart-moving rendition of the Black National Anthem continuing to be lifted up throughout this building for a very long time. And I'm so grateful to everyone who works in this building day in and day out to make these concrete walls feel real and feel human. I want to echo, as Chief Irish had said, many folks who took the lead to put together this event, but who also every single day of the year are making sure that the city is doing everything that we can. So I also just want to double the thanks to Miss Lori Nelson, Susan McCollin, Frank Farrow, the entire Equity and Inclusion Cabinet, and all the members of our Black Employee Network here at City Hall. We also have several cabinet members who are here. I want to give them a shout out. In addition to Chief Irish, we have our Police Commissioner, Michael Cox, in the house. We have our Chief of Community Engagement, Brianna Malore. Thank you, Chief. Our Chief of EMS, Jim Hooley. Okay, who else am I missing from Cabinet? We have Rebecca Granger, who leads our efforts for youth and families and schools. Thank you, thank you. And then neighborhood liaisons like Cece and Asha and all the members of our team. I'm going to give a shout out to the elected officials as well. So I see City Councilor Ben Weber, who's here, sitting right next to our district attorney, Kevin Hayden. Who else am I missing? Okay. Why are you over there, Counselor? Come up. There's a seat right here. District 7 City Councilor Tanya Fernandes Anderson. We have time on the program for our counselors to say a few words a little bit too. Okay, we'll make sure. Did I miss any elected officials who are also here yet? Okay, I know folks are going to flow in and out of the event as well. Oh, Chris Worrell. Where's Chris Worrell? Why are you all the way down there? Come on up. Thank you, State Representative Chris Worrell, for being with us. And thank you to all of the other speakers who will be joining us. Amanda Shea, Miss Tanisha Nash Laird, who just got off the plane from the Grammys to be here with us. Okay, so I don't want to say too much because the rest of the program is just fire. Boston is a city full of Black art and talented Black creatives whose work challenges, inspires, and moves our city every day. From the Gold Festival last summer on the Plaza, to the Embrace Memorial on the Common, to the mural at the Men's Shelter at Newmarket, created by Sabrina Dorsonville, an alum of Boston's new urban mechanics team, in connection with See You in the Future, Boston Arts Academy, Boston Public Health Commission, and Shelter Guests, and the mural at the recently opened Faneuil branch of the Boston Public Library, created by Brighton artist Curtistic, incorporating artwork from young people all across the neighborhood, to artists like Elise Patterson, Stiggity Stacks, Geronzi Harris, all of whom were in the most recent cohort of artists in residence here at the city. We thank you for sharing your gifts with our entire community. As part of that program, which is really to embed artists and creatives within the work of city government, they brought their brilliance to bear on projects building infrastructure, whether it's for artistic expression in our parks and playgrounds, or telling the stories of our environmental justice communities, or making our streets and sidewalks accessible to everybody. These are just a few examples of the generations and the gifts that our community members have offered to the city. In each of these, the process and the product has been one that we've been focused on infusing community throughout. We are so grateful now that the Embrace Memorial puts a national marker right in the oldest park in the country, with the names of Black civil rights leaders etched into the ground. And that in the collaboration between Embrace Boston, the Boston Art Commission, the Boston Foundation, and our Arts and Culture Office, we have made sure that we can keep this not just as a piece of art and sculpture, but a living, breathing collaboration and education effort that flows throughout our communities. That is the gift and the power of Black art, the ability to include, bring out, and double down on the strength of our communities, using beauty as a multiplier and a challenger. Boston would not be the city that it is today if not for our Black leaders, Black artists and activists, Black entrepreneurs and advocates, all sharing their craft with the deep knowledge of how much is at stake for our communities. We are so blessed to be a city filled with Black art, fueled by Black brilliance, embodied by two of the artists we are honoring today. So I will get to it. I have two special recognitions, and we will start first with Mr. Paul Goodnight, who was raised in Roxbury. He lost his ability to speak after serving in the Vietnam War, but rediscovered his voice in the canvases he painted, and in his words, "Art is a gift to give, not a gift to keep." We thank his daughter Aziza, his biggest inspiration, who is accepting the award on behalf of her father today.
This is awesome. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who was a part of this celebration. I'm thankful to be able to accept this in honor on behalf of my father, Paul Goodnight, while he is still alive. A man who has done so much. A man who made me watch Hidden Colors. A man who fully encouraged me to attend Hampton University. A man who ensured I was able to travel the world at the age of 3. A man who also perfected the beauty of creating images of black people using color. A man who advocated for policy in the 70s to protect black artists. A man who grew up fatherless and a foster child, but still stood up to be a father to me and many others. A man who is one of less than 10 black artists commissioned by the Olympics and commissioned by the World Cup twice. A man who was dubbed the artist of the screen in the 90s, not just for his presence in the black art cinema, but also in white film and video as well. A man who whose artwork lives in prominent collections from the MFA to the Smithsonian in Switzerland. A man who used his skill to create Vote for Mel King posters, and also the lost artwork done in collaboration with Madison Park High School students to sit in back of the wonderful visit that when Mandela was here. A man who stands larger than the 3-story image of him on the side of Nubian Gallery. The image is only the tip of the iceberg of his legacy. What is unseen is underneath the service of our ancestors and the backs and shoulders of the folks that paved the way for him. So I am thankful to stand here in honor of a man who humbly walks this city with a world of accomplishments. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aziza, for all that you do for our city as well. The second recognition that I'm honored to present goes to Ms. Shaumba Yanja Dibinga. Ms. Shaumba Yanja Dibinga, who is a poet, playwright, performer, founder, and educator who has shared her gift through Origination. It's a performing arts organization in Roxbury, for anyone who is not familiar, dedicated to teaching young people about African influence on contemporary art and helping each person discover their own power and passion through movement. Thank you for sharing the brightest piece of you with so many of our community members.
That's so awesome. So, great afternoon. How are you? I'm humbled and proud to be recognized by Mayor Wu, the Mayor's Office of Equity and Inclusion Cabinet through the Racial Justice Department, the Black Employees Network, I gotta say that again because I like that, the Black Employees Network, and other city departments and offices. Thank you, Rashad Cope. How are you? Thank you for bringing my name, my family's name, and Origination to the table, because if you didn't, we may not be here today. So I thank you. That truly, truly means a lot. And I would like to thank my parents, the Reverend Dr. Dibinga Wa Said, may he rest in power and peace, my mom, Dr. Golela Dibinga, who are Congolese immigrants. They came here many, many years ago from the Democratic Republic of Congo with my sister Musau and my brother Sa on their backs. And their journey from Congo to the U.S. was nothing short of horrific. The sacrifices they made for my siblings and I to do what we're doing today and to stand where we're standing today, for me, are unmatched. I grew up with Ubuntu. I am because we are. I grew up with the proverb, the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. And we had a huge village. And my parents were also a village, bringing people to the United States. And I also grew up with understanding how important it is to be proud of being Black and being African first. And lastly, we grew up understanding the importance of giving back. And we were told that if you give and give to people and one person gives back, then you've done your job in this universe. And we give back with Origination Cultural Arts Center for now 30 years. And we plan on doing it for a much longer time. So thank you for honoring my family and Origination Cultural Arts Center. We appreciate all that you're doing, and we love the fact that you're putting so much time and love and thought into Black history, because Black history is American history. Thank you.
So thank you to everyone for sharing the fullest of yourselves with so many in the community members. Thank you to every Black leader and artist and creative who's refused to be silenced, who spoke the present we enjoy today into existence. And thank you to everyone for paving the way for generations to come. We are so grateful for the gifts that you share with our city. And before I turn it over to our Chief of Arts and Culture, I want to invite up the elected officials if you want to say a quick greeting and hello to everyone. Everyone can come up together. So Counselor, DA, and then we'll come on up.
Want me to go first? Okay. Hello, I'm Ben Weber, City Councilor for District 6. I think we've just heard Black history is American history, but at this time in our country, there's some people who don't want all of American history to be taught. And they're not talking about not teaching about the Industrial Revolution or the Cuban Missile Crisis. They're talking about not teaching Black history to our kids. So, you know, I stand in support of Black History Month, and I look forward to joining the fight to make sure our kids learn about all of our history here in this country. And thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to be decidedly brief because I know we got a lot of people that are going to say a few words today, but happy Black History Month to all of you. I think Chris Varela said it earlier. I'm Black, right? That's all we really need to know. In the words of Serge Georges, though, Justice of our Supreme Judicial Court, for those of us who are Black, be proud, always be proud, and in his own words, always head up, shoulders back. Amen?
I'm going to be very short again. The prophet, I'm trying to think of his name, but the prophet said, say it loud. James Brown. The prophet, James Brown, said, say it loud. Say it loud. Have a good, God bless.
How do I follow that, right? Peace and love to all of y'all, and thank you so much to Mayor Wu and the administration, Ben, for putting this together, for you taking your time, all of our allies, folks that are here just to support and be present, and continue to work on equitable solutions for our communities all throughout Boston. I want to just say that often, you know, when you were talking about Black History Month, a lot of our accolades include art and sort of visuals and performance, because we're beauty, because we're art, and because we bring entertainment. But we are so much more than that. And then there's the argument about Egypt, and is that included? Is that Black, or is that something else? But all of this brings us to the conversation about the diaspora and how that red signifying our blood, our Black blood, that we're all one Black nation. And so I want to just leave you with, being an African Muslim woman in America is not an easy thing. But you know what's harder? being an African American woman. And for that, I will continue to pay homage to every single beauty and love and those who've saved me and paved the way for me to be here. So today, I dedicate it to you, Black women, African American women. Thank you so much for loving me, protecting me, nurturing me, and keeping me alive. I love you. I appreciate you all. And to the brothers, too, to our allies. We need y'all. We need y'all. To the brothers, we love you. And look, in politics, things are not always, cut and dry. It's not black and white. And it takes time for us to evolve as elected officials and to understand how we deliver a message to the community. You heard me. I came in and I was like, rah, I'm ready. And little by little, you understand that relationships and the grace of giving people time to learn their job, and the grace for you to do that research and pull it together, all the pieces and all the puzzle. Meanwhile, the people are dying and suffering and saying, what about us? Especially Roxbury, right, with the most recent issues in terms of bringing the migrant shelter and all of these other things that we're doing. But then I heard the people of Roxbury say, these are our people, Haitian people, black people, we're not going to say no. But they also said, what about Roxbury? We heard our mayor say, hey, Roxbury got enough, but also there's all of these other things that we disagree with. So in the spirit of Black History Month, while we talk about and celebrate and be here and be so cozy in our hugs and kisses, let's not forget all of the work that's ahead of us. Let's celebrate the people, the young people that are going to do all the accomplishments coming, all of the revolutionary evolution coming, all of the things that we know that is still needed for Roxbury, but for all towns in Boston that look like Roxbury. So I thank you for your patience, for your forgiveness in advance while we try to figure out this politics thing, for your grace and allowing us to lean into you, the experts in the community, to be able to continue to do this work. Love you, Black people, and that's it. I owe you everything, and we'll continue to do the work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, now I'll invite up our Chief of Arts and Culture, Cara Elliott Ortega. Yes, Cara. Next? Okay. Lori next? Okay. Change of plans. Writing up our what are the architects behind today and so many other important policies for the city. Senior Advisor for Racial Justice, Ms. Lori Nelson.
Council Lujan actually had an urgent matter, Council President, and she wanted me to send out her heartfelt apologies. I know that she would be here if she could. Thank you so much. Miss Lori Nelson, everybody.
Stop. Well, good afternoon. Can you all hear me? Okay, I just want to say you all look absolutely amazing. Even everyone on the far left, all the way over there. Okay, my chief is saying, can you hear me now, Chief? Is that better? Okay. I take my cues from her and the mayor. Okay, so we're good. Okay, happy Black History Month again. Want to thank everyone who has been a crucial and critical part of this work. I would be remiss if I didn't shout out our Chief Operations Officer. Can you all please help me thank Dion Irish again? Certainly, I feel like I'm in the church now with Reverend Art here. Protocol haven't been established. Don't make me start. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to move forward. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing who I call my sister, leader, friend. Miss Tanisha Nash Lord is is a social change agent who centers cultural equity in her work. As the inaugural president and CEO of the Greater Roxbury Arts and Cultural Center, she is spearheading the development of a vibrant cultural center where the voices of Black and Latinx visual and performing artists are lifted up and where social justice and economic development go hand in hand. Tanisha previously co-founded the venue MIST, M-I-S-T, Harlem in New York City, and received a federal appointment as a grants panelist for the National Endowment for the Arts during the Obama administration. Y'all can clap for that. She is also the co-author of the critically acclaimed book, Still I Rise, a graphic history of African Americans, and co-produced 2 films, Battle Sounds, a hip-hop DJ documentary, and the feature film Black Terror, which was executive produced by Ms. Tina Knowles and Richard Lawson. A member of the Recording Academy, Tanisha began her career as director of the media relations at Africa Bambaata's hip-hop label Planet Rock Music, and recently served on the advisory board for Hip Hop America, the mixtape exhibit at the Grammy Museum in Los Angeles for the 50th anniversary of hip hop, where she advocated for Boston's inclusion on the map of notable hip hop artists. So previously, you heard the mayor also say she just got back from the Grammys just for us. I am so excited to introduce my friend and to bring her to this podium. Will you all please welcome Ms. Tanisha Laird.
Thank you so much. I'm going to begin by thanking Chief Lori Nelson and her entire team for putting this event together and inviting me to keynote. Good afternoon, Mayor Wu, all the elected officials present, and esteemed city and state leaders, all of you distinguished guests, our collective, which is the wonderfully vibrant community of Boston. I am honored, profoundly honored, to join you today in the kickoff of this celebration of Black History Month to say some remarks amplifying the national theme of African Americans and the arts. Again, as you heard, my name is Tanisha Nash Laird, and I am a creator, a curator, a film and live event producer, as well as the co-author of the critically acclaimed book, Still I Rise, A Graphic History of African Americans, which tells our story from 1619 to the election, in the second edition, to the election of President Barack Obama in 240 pages in a comic book graphic novel format. I am also the inaugural president and CEO of the Greater Roxbury Arts and Cultural Center, an arts organization we affectionately call GRAC, where the culture of people of African descent is lifted up and where social justice and economic development go hand in hand. I am proud to build this organization currently above the Snipes on Washington Street, with a future home in a 34,000 square foot visual and performing arts center right there in Nubian Square. So, some of you are aware that I am a recent transplant to this city, and from day one, I have felt embraced by the hospitality this metropolis is capable of extending. So, in appreciation of that support and this year's theme, national theme of African Americans in the arts, I wish to sing a serenade of Black Boston's contributions to the arts and national culture. Now, I'm following Danny, who is actually on our artistic advisory committee, and so those that know that music know that serenades are often multi-movement structures. So allow me to begin my serenade with a spotlight on a figure whose legacy serves as a towering beacon guiding our mission at the Greater Roxbury Arts and Cultural Center, and that's Elma Lewis. A daughter of Boston, Elma Lewis was a visionary who deeply understood the power of the arts to uplift, educate, and unite. In 1950, she founded the Elma Lewis School of Fine Arts in Roxbury, creating a nurturing ground for young talent to flourish in the realms of dance, music, and visual arts. 18 years later, she expanded her vision with the National Center of Afro-American Artists, a hub that celebrated and showcased Black excellence in the arts. Elma Lewis was nationally recognized as one of the first in the class of the MacArthur Fellowship recipients. Yes, she was a recipient of the Genius Grant. Elma Lewis's work is a model for GRAC, inspiring our efforts to continue her legacy of cultural empowerment and arts education. Like her, we believe in the transformative power of the arts to tell our stories, to honor our history, and to enrich our community. Our resident companies at GRAC include Origination, Castle of Our Skins, the Roxbury International Film Festival, which will have its first permanent home in Roxbury in its 26 years, and the Front Porch Arts Collective. They all carry this mission forward. They use dance, music, film, and theater to weave the rich narratives of Black experience, resilience, and triumph, ensuring that the arts remain a central pillar of the community's identity and strength. In celebrating Elma Lewis today, I reaffirm our commitment to her vision to create spaces where the arts acts as a bridge between generations, where Black stories are told and heard, and where the cultural legacy of Boston's Black community is preserved and cherished for future generations. And for the next movement of the serenade, allow me to lift up that today's Black History Month festivities include readings by local poets. And I hope that everyone will listen to them attentively. Now, I do not say this just to be polite, for of course we understand that the art of poetry is a signature feature of Boston's past. It was here, right here, in colonial Boston, that this continent brought forth an enslaved African woman who became acknowledged as America's first Black literary genius. I sing today of Phillis Wheatley. And a century later, this city would host, in the 1890s, the Black Creole woman and poet born as Alice Ruth Moore, but known later in life as Alice Dunbar, the wife of the prominent poet Paul Laurence Dunbar. Yet her husband might have never known of her if it wasn't for her poetry published in a New England literary journal. That and the black and white photo of her included in those pages, which captured his romantic heart. A dear friend recently described her in his work of lyrical fiction. That girl was fine. Make you want to holler fine. I also sing of Boston's Black musicians. Thus, decades after Alice Dunbar's passing, I sing of the Boston-born alto saxophonist known to jazz lovers across the globe as Sonny Stitt. Fast forward to the 1970s, and I must sing, and I do so nostalgically, of a woman who shook the world and made Americans shake on the dance floor to the sounds of throbbing music. Thus, I sing of that queen of disco, the iconic Boston girl, Donna Summer. And from my middle school years, I also sing of the talent that erupted in the 1980s, of a group with the members that we know as Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Yes, I, Tanisha, long to be the candy girl of the legendary New Edition. And it was in my college years I was introduced to Boston's hip-hop scene. And so I must shout out Ed O.G. and the Bulldogs, who rap lines like, I'm from the Roxbury, the berry, but not the fruit, y'all. And I will pause to say that I was pleased to leverage my role as an advisory board member to the Grammy Museum to get several of Boston's hip-hop artists, from Ed O.G. to my new friend, the Dutch Rebel, in the museum's Hip Hop America, the mixtape exhibit celebrating 50 years of the genre. Shout out to Dart Adams, who answered my SOS and helped me compile that list of Boston artists who deserve to be enshrined in that museum in Los Angeles. But the artistic legacy of Black Bostonians extends far beyond poetry and music, and thus I sing of painter Paul Goodnight, who was one of the first Black Boston artists I became aware of when I began to study Black contemporary artists, and whose legacy endures through his art and his progeny, who we just heard from. I sing, too, of Roxbury-born Richard Yard, whose watercolor paintings earned him fame in exhibitions in the Museum of Fine Arts and New York City's Metropolitan Museum of Art. And before he passed in 2011, he had taught generations of art students at institutions such as Wellesley, UMass, and Boston University. And since I invoked Boston University, we should celebrate the legacy of Derek Walcott, a playwright and professor at that august institution who founded the Boston Playwrights Theater in 1981. And Mr. Walcott was also a MacArthur Fellow and won the 1992 Nobel Prize in Literature. A last not to be forgotten is the art of dance and how Ty Jimenez, now the director of the Dance Theater of Harlem's Ballet School, made history in 2006 as the first Black female principal artist at the Boston Ballet, bringing forth her gifts of kinetic expression to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the movements in my serenade are not just some mere spasm of artistic name dropping. The names and the legends I've cited here are only some of the stars etched upon the sky of Boston's cultural legacy. They are guiding lights for aspiring talent incubated by this city to embrace and accept as proud examples of the Black excellence and commitment to their artistic practices can create. Unfortunately, we now live in an era when some detractors frown on what they call identity politics. They suggest that we should blend into some amorphous, tasteless, and indistinguishable porridge that they call American. For decades, those same forces of the 19th century, of the 20th century, and even now into this millennium proclaimed that this nation was nothing more than a melting pot whose contents were only to be defined by how the ingredients they assumed came first, notwithstanding that Black Americans have been here for 400 years. So, to all of America, I will assert that Black Boston's past is so much more than Crispus Attucks and the one-time homes of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, as proud as we are for their respective historic roles. We are more than that. We're also an incubator and host of artistic talent. We are a crucible of American culture. Through my work in cities on both coasts of this nation, here is what I have observed. Culture shapes the arts. The arts shape our identities. Our identities shape our neighborhoods, and neighborhoods shape the character of a city. You cannot have a first-class city without a vibrant arts and culture scene. And just as diversity is a welcome addition in the workplace or in restaurants we love to patronize, vibrant cities are marked by their cultural diversity. So let us view the assets of the arts as essential to human existence, as something central to making us humane. A famous philosopher once wrote, "Without music, life would be a mistake. It would be a mistake of the highest order for Americans to ignore the role that Black musicians have played in defining American culture and character. What the world knows as the soul of America would never, ever be complete without its legacy of gospel, jazz, rhythm and blues, the Motown era, Donna Summer's disco tunes, and the hip-hop revolution." That same philosopher also said, we have art in order not to die of the truth. Well, the undisputed truth is that the souls of Black folks in America have survived what Shakespeare might have described as the slings and arrows of outrageous racism, and we have done so through our genius for the arts. As I bring my serenade of Black Boston's artistic legacy to close, let us reflect on the symphony of stories, struggles, and triumphs that have been the backdrop of today's gathering. From the poignant verses of Phyllis Wheatley to the soul-stirring melodies of Donna Summer, from the groundbreaking canvases of Paul Goodnight to the innovative choreography of Ty Jimenez. We've journeyed through a rich heritage that not only defines Black Boston, but also enriches the cultural fabric of our nation. Our serenade began with a single note of gratitude, which has swelled into a chorus of celebration, recognition, and resolve. As we conclude, let this not be the end of our song, but rather a crescendo that propels us forward, encourages us to carry the melody of Black history and culture daily. Let the stories of those we've honored today inspire us to continue their legacy of creativity, resilience, and excellence. Let us be reminded that our collective history is not just a series of notes in the past, but a living, breathing composition that continues for the future. In the spirits of those who have laid the foundations upon which we stand, let us move forward with pride, determination, and an unwavering commitment to ensuring that the arts remain a vibrant and essential thread in the tapestry of our community. Let our actions reflect our dedication to the nurturing world where every artist is celebrated, every story is valued, and every voice is lifted up in a never-ending serenade of Black culture and heritage. Thank you, Boston, for your embrace, energy, enduring support of the arts. Together, let's keep the music playing, the paint flowing, the words writing, and the dance moving. Let's ensure that the serenade of Black Boston's contributions to the arts and national culture continues to resonate, not just during Black History Month, but during the whole year and for generations to come. Thank you. Thank you. We got next.
Can we do one more round of applause for Miss Tanisha? Thank you so much. Thank you for that wonderful weaving of Black Boston and culture. I see why you were at the Grammys. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I think if I'm still on script, I'm looking at her. And Mayor Wu, if you would allow me to do one thing, she's going to be mad at me, but I always get in trouble. Could you all help me celebrate our next poet by number one? Today is Amanda Shea's birthday. Did you all know that? Can we just give a shout out to Amanda Shea for her birthday? Woo! Okay. I'm trying to find Danny. Woo! Okay, that's really not the intro. I know, but you flowed with it. We're fine. Okay, so if you all would join me in welcoming now to the podium I believe, one of the best poets in the land. She speaks from her heart and soul and her experience, and you definitely understand every word she's saying by how she expresses. She is another sister friend who I truly love, Miss Amanda Shea.
I'm not mad. I love you. It is my birthday, y'all. Thank you so much. Okay, I got heels on today. I also share this birthday with the great Bob Marley. Right, keep it up, yes. I'm just honored to be here. Thank you so much for Chief Lori. Where you at? Where'd you go? Thank you so much. Susan, Mayor Wu, Tanisha, that speech, thank you. We needed to hear that. Aziza, you know how I feel about you. I want to do this poem called Black Excellence, but I would be remiss if I didn't say, as much as it is our duty, as the great Nina Simone had said, it is our duty as artists to reflect the times in which we live in. I would be remiss to not say that we also need to wrap our arms around artists as well in all of the ways. It takes a lot for us to create, to speak from our heart, to share our stories. We are the voice for sometimes the voiceless, and sometimes we feel voiceless when we're also doing other things outside of being the creatives and bringing art together. Mothers, teachers, fathers, caregivers. We do it all, not just the art. To sustain our housing and to be paid for our sweat equity in our work. Without artists, this world would be bleak. So please understand that we all need to sustain in order to be able to create and share our stories. Black excellence. Our land, the motherland, where the sun illuminates our melanin. Yeah, that's right, we glow different. Afro descendants, fighting oppression in systematic institutions, black magic. We turned into black girl magic, that energy you can feel. We call that vibes. We out here snapping our necks and fingers like, yes, sis. Our voices carry joy. They be like, how can these people be so liberated when we violate their civil rights in their existence? Sheesh. We exist in ourselves. Our ancestors birthed doulas in order to reproduce black babies that ignite the culture. Natural hair, braided locks, wigs, we weave beauty into sculpted masterpieces. How we be speaking with our eyes, and we be knowing what that look mean. Call it telepathy. Like how our ancestors talk to us in dreams. How multilingual we are. When we say, "Sak pase, que lo que." Here we go. What it do, homie? What's up? Complimenting each other like, where you going dressed like that, Aziza? Means you look good with a T on the end. We embody deities. Aphrodite, they tried to abandon us overseas. What they didn't know is we a healing folk, protected by crystals, obsidian, black tourmaline. Orishas like Yemaya carried us to safety, surely providing our fruitful livelihood, cropping out negativity and planting seeds in the backyards and windowsills to feed our families. Our chants become mantras, ceremonies held in homes and churches, city halls, Angola, Nigeria, Ghana, Haiti, Igbo people. We are historic. We were buried in gold. We the definition of royalty. Our music, pulsating a frequency that demands you to move. Lauryn Hill, Jill Scott, Kendrick Lamar, Sam Cooke resonates deeply. We are culturally appropriated, and yet we still act accordingly. We can move things just by standing still. It's cosmic. It's spiritual. It's God. We sprinkle all that razzle-dazzle on everything. No matter societal constraints or tactics, we thrive, period. The epitome, y'all hear me? The epitome of black excellence. Thank y'all.
Okay, I don't have heels on. You did that, okay. All right, I'm gonna make it work. Okay, thank you again to Amanda Shea. Can we give her another round of applause? Okay, we are at the conclusion of the program. Before we end, a couple of things I want to do very quickly. I want to shout out the caterers of the hour. We do have food, and we try to do it right. Our food is from Fresh Food Generation, Soulful Persuasion, and Rhythm and Raps. If you all could give a round of applause. We try to always do as our mayor likes to do, which is to always meet people where they are and give back and support our communities and our businesses. So one more time for the food and for those who prepared it. Thank you so much. One other thing I just want to shout out, I think he may have left, my co-chair of Ben. Has anyone seen Kyron Owens? Where is Kyron? Oh, look, Kyron. I'm shouting you out. Everyone give a shout out to Kyron. And Kyron and I serve as the co-chairs of the Ben Black Employee Network. Also, we're a part in putting this all together. Last but not least, there's a host of people who will probably be mad at me because they hide out in the back, and that's fine. Susan McCollin is in the back somewhere. Could not do this at all without Susan. Want to certainly shout out the Chief of Equity and Inclusion, who I think is also here. I thought Chief Madi Angeles, Solis Severa. I can't see the people. There she is. Want to shout out one of the newer members of the team. You all saw all of this because of this wonderful woman named Martine, who is our Director of Communications. Woo! I'd also like to give a shout out to, he left. Where is Keith? Oh, where's Keith? Keith Williams. Okay, I think I've done everything I was supposed to do, and Rashad Cope, of course, for doing what you do. All right, very quickly, the Reverend Art Gordon, who is the senior pastor of St. John Missionary Baptist Church, will come back up and give our benediction and bless the food. And then please, you all, there's so much food, so much to do. Let's eat and have fun. Happy Black History Month. I'm missing someone. I'm getting pointers. I'm getting better. Rakia Edwards is in the building. Thank you, Rakia. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to get out of your way to Reverend Art Gordon, and then we will eat. Thank you so much, and happy Black History Month.
Anybody ready to eat? Sounds good. Thank you, God, for this opportunity to celebrate our Black history. Thank you for the words that were spoken. We also thank you for the food that has been prepared for the nourishment of our bodies, that it will help us in our fellowship as we be with each other in this moment. In your name we pray. Amen.
Very quickly, I would also want to acknowledge, I know people are going into the back, can we please acknowledge quickly our council president, Councilor Ruth C. Louisiane. Very quickly, thank you so much, Councilor.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I've had a bunch of meetings, but just want to say happy Black History Month. This is our month. It's too short of a month. We have so much to celebrate in terms of who we are. Shasi Shamba here, so I know y'all had like Mr. Benga. There was a beautiful performance. So just happy to see everyone here. We have 29 days to really celebrate ourselves. But really, Black history is American history, and we always need to make sure that we are reminding people of that fact. So happy Black History Month, everybody. The City Council will be having our own City Council Black History Month celebration on February 21st. So I hope to see everyone there. Thank you, everyone.
Very quickly, can I have Ms. Tanisha, the mayor, councilor president, DA, Commissioner Cox, Reverend Gordon, Aziza, where's Shamba? Shamba? Okay, we all need to take a picture very quickly, okay? Thank you so much.